All right, buckle up. Tonight, America's enemies, they're testing Joe Biden. And as per usual, yes, you're a very frail, weak, cognitively struggling commander-in-chief. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's up to this test. While Sippy Cup Joe is enjoying a restful midweek getaway at his beach house in Delaware, well, America's food costs are now soaring. Why? Because of another Russian-based cybersecurity attack. And meanwhile, China is now threatening, get this, an all-out nuclear war, and they are now allegedly expanding their nuclear arsenal in preparation for what they see as an intense showdown with the United States of America. Now, this, of course, after the world is finally recovering from a pandemic that China definitely caused. They did protect their own country with a travel ban. Couldn't travel out of Wuhan province to China. Couldn't travel from China, other parts of China, to Wuhan province. But you could leave Wuhan province and go to the rest of the world. Now, of course, this deadly disease likely originated, as we're now discovering, from this lab, the Wuhan virology lab. Nearly 600,000 Americans are dead because of, yes, what China did and how they handled it. Millions more around the globe are dead because of what China did here and didn't do here. Everyone's life was upended for more than a year thanks to the communist Chinese government, hostile actors, a hostile regime, a hostile president, President Xi. And not only did they probably create the virus and, as we call, gain of function and then release it into the world, but then they tried to cover it up with the help of the World Health Organization that you help fund. How nice. The malignant government of China must be held accountable. Sippy Cup Joe, your president, doesn't seem too capable of doing anything. A good first step for the Biden administration would be a little straightforward honesty about the origins of COVID-19. But in order for that to happen, well, first, that guy, Dr. Anthony Fauci, the so beloved, the expert, follow the experts, he now needs to be fired immediately. Now, for months at the start of this pandemic, we gave Dr. Fauci the benefit of the doubt. We had him on the show, radio and TV. We listened to his advice. But after months of serious miscalculations, flip-flops, cruise ships, masks, lockdowns, the origins of COVID-19, the models, projections, everything was wrong. Well, rightly now, our trust in Dr. Flip-Flop Fauci is non-existent, who, like the governor of New York, is apparently writing a book and making money. We'll have more on that in a moment. But now, thanks to the Freedom of Information Act, a request, a trove of newly unearthed emails, they're painting a damning picture of America's highest paid bureaucrat. That's Fauci. In one email, January 31st, 2020, it's only 10 days after the first known case of coronavirus in the U.S., a team of America's top scientists studying COVID-19, they warned Fauci directly that, quote, some of the features of the virus look engineered. This is 10 days after the first identified case in this country, the exact day that Donald Trump put that xenophobic, hysterical travel ban in effect. One day later, Fauci and a top deputy at the National Institute of Health exchanged frantic emails about what we now know to be gain-of-function research. Now, for reference, gain-of-function, if you don't know, that research often involves manipulating viruses for the purpose of making them more dangerous, more infectious, and more lethal. The practice is so risky that it was actually temporarily halted by our government from 2014 to 17. According to Fauci's emails, it appears that the doctor was not only worried that the virus was the result of gain-of-function research, but also that his NIH, that you, the taxpayers, could have funded it. One email to Fauci reads, quote, the paper you sent me says the experiments were performed before the gain-of-function pause, but have since been reviewed and approved by the NIH. And, quote, someone at the NIH will try to determine if we have any distant ties to this work abroad. Yeah, you gave him money. But in the following weeks, Fauci threw cold water on the theory that COVID originated in this Wuhan virology lab. In other words, it kind of reads to me like Fauci possibly knew damn well that the U.S. could have helped fund this. Really? And this seems like he wanted to cover it up with the appearance of distance. Well, in May, he told National Geographic that he's very, very strongly leaning toward a conclusion that the virus could not have been artificially or deliberately manipulated. Wrong again. On multiple occasions, Fauci strongly implied that the virus originated in nature. And in an email to Dr. Fauci in April, the NIH director, Francis Collins, referred to the lab leak theory as a Fox News-fueled conspiracy theory. Apparently, that's gone mainstream. In the same month, a scientist named Peter Daszak profusely thanked Fauci in an email. I want to say a personal thank you for publicly standing up and stating that the scientific evidence supports a natural origin for COVID-19 from bat to human spillover, not a lab release from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. He continued, from my perspective, your comments are brave and coming from your trusted voice will help dispel the myths being spun around the virus's origins. Now, Daszak has deep ties to China and, of course, the World Health Organization that you pay for, and his nonprofit helps steer federal NIH grants to the Wuhan Institute of Virology. So let me make this easy. Let me break it down. Millions of your tax dollars ended up at the Wuhan Institute of Virology between 2014 and 2019 when gain-of-function research on coronaviruses were taking place. In other words, the lab that probably created and leaked this virus. 2012, Fauci even said, oh, yeah, it's dangerous, but it's certainly worth the risk to do gain-of-function research. But the real question tonight is, what did Dr. Fauci know? When did Dr. Fauci know it? And was he engaged in some type of scientific cover-up? If not, then why was America's top infectious disease expert so wrong for so many months? And, of course, as we mentioned, just like Andrew Cuomo, Dr. Flip-Flop Fauci is now trying to profit from the pandemic in a book hilariously titled Expect the Unexpected, 10 Lessons on Truth, Service, and the Way Forward. Thankfully, the book is only 80 pages long. So, Joe Biden, do you care to comment? Do you still have all that great faith and confidence in Dr. Fauci? I'll do it if Dr. Fauci says so, you kept telling us. Because I hate to tell you, Joey, I know you're asleep right now. I know you had your warm milky and your little sippy cup, presidential label and everything. But we, the American people, do not have faith in Flip-Flop Fauci, who now must, based on what we've learned, be fired. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.